to sing with our hearts, make a melody, teaching others with the songs that we sing. We've got to sing with our hearts, make a melody.
Welcome to From Pitch to Praise, a podcast dedicated to inspiring and equipping worship leaders, ministers, and song leaders within the church.
I'm Matt Parker from Infusion Ministries.
And I'm Alan Baggett. Together, we're here to share insights, stories, and practical tools to help you lead your congregation in heartfelt, God-honoring worship.
Whether you're leading worship from the pulpit, in a classroom, or just seeking to deepen your understanding of what it means to praise God in song, this is the podcast for you.
Let's explore the harmony between leadership, faith, and worship. Welcome to From Pitch to Praise.
Make a melody.
We're back, man. I think we say we're back every time because we're always back.
But we always leave.
But we're still here.
That's deep. We always leave, but we're always here.
We haven't changed clothes, dude. It's been a month and a half of the same polo, I think.
You're starting to kind of stink. I'm not going to lie. You need to get...
Okay, we're recording these back to back to back. But the content is great, but we can't give them all the content at the same time. We got to kind of space that out a little bit.
Right.
And I'll tell you, tonight, or this morning, it's 7 a.m. Okay, if you're listening to this right when it drops, it's 7 a.m. And we've got...
Good point.
We've got a wonderful, stellar guest today, this morning. Technically not here.
Dare I say the coolest?
Is he the coolest? I think it could be the coolest.
Dude.
We have Mr. Andrew Whitehouse. Everybody give a round of applause at home.
We need a button.
Ding, 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 ding.
Next purchase.
Thanks for being here, Brant.
Proud to be here. Thanks for being here.
This is a great thing. So for y'all who know or don't know, but Andrew Whitehouse is high tenor. Would we say tenor one? Tenor
in my days of traveling and singing, not quite as much anymore.
Come down a little bit. But you're
Are
lead.
we ever going to
right?
have a bass on the show?
Okay.
We seem to have a lot of tenors.
Well, they tend to lead worship, you know.
Oh.
There's a couple bass leaders. There's a couple here actually that are true basses at Worship Leader Institute, but that's sort of the wheelhouse of song leading. Andrew is the worship minister, worship leader.
Worship minister. I'm full-time staff there. Yeah. Full-time
worship minister at Legacy Church of Christ in Fort Worth, Texas, which is a big deal. I mean, how big is that auditorium?
It's I think the rated capacity is about 1,500. That would be really, really full. It can handle 12 or so.
But how many did you have? So last year you had the Praise and Harmony record 2 years ago.
2023. Yeah, we hosted Praise and Harmony.
And how many did you have for the Song
we
Fest?
Packed over 1,600 in there standing.
Wow.
Where was the fire marshal? Did you pay him off?
Well, we hadn't talked about that yet.
Oh,
sorry, I've opened wounds.
No.
Yeah, we might need to edit that.
When you said 1,600, you actually meant 14 plus or
right
minus.
On
1,600 is preacher count.
Preacher
That's
numbers.
not
That
accurate
doesn't really count.
Numbers.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew, welcome. We're so glad that you're here.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
We're excited. Really, Andrew, also not only is he a full-time worship minister, but he got a little backstory. You sang with Vocal Union back in the day.
Yeah.
And sang tenor. What part were you that?
Well, I would bounce between first and second tenor typically, but even baritone sometimes.
And how many guys were in the group then? 6, 7?
Sometimes 6, sometimes 7.
Yeah.
Now, for those who, I didn't grow up. We've said it several times.
You should know, Matt's a Gaither guy.
Yeah.
And so when
Gaither.
Did I say it wrong?
Gaither
Gaither vocal band. But when Matt and I became friends, and we're doing acapella stuff, I started talking about acapella and vocal union and AVB, and I got this kind of glossed over, glazed look. And so since then we've gone through the discography, and I've educated him, tried to catch him up some.
But my point is, there's people who are possibly listening who are like,
if they don't know vocal union,
my point here, quit patronizing me, guys.
Sorry, Matt. I love you. I love you. I love you, bro.
Vocal union was a
Southern gospel, right?
Southern gospel style that kind of formed out of acapella.
Yeah, it was kind of a side project of the Acappella Company, and ended up being a kind of a full-time ministry on the road for a long time.
So did you tour with them or see?
Yeah. So when the years I was in it, we were technically it was part-time, but we traveled a lot. We were pretty much weekends only. But we would go out on weekends. Probably the years I was in it, a couple of those years, we probably were on the road 35 weekends out of the year, and that would be that could be 2, 3, or 4 shows.
That's full time, guys. I don't care. That's not
Well-
part time at all.
It was a lot of fun, but yeah, that's kind of how we
So
did things. in those years.
2006.
Right.
Were you married in 2006?
Had just got married, so
Oh,
all those things
wow.
happened at the same time.
So your wife, you love her, and she loves you.
Loved me enough to stick around for all that. Yeah,
Wait a minute. You didn't mention any of this when
No.
you asked me to marry you. Hold
it
on.
was quite an interesting time. We got married in August of 2006, and I had already started with Vocal Union, and I was graduating Harding right at that same time. So
Wow.
we got married. I was already traveling and singing, and moved to Nashville, all just right there at the same
So
time.
how did you get into vocal? How did that?
I started a relationship with those guys through my home church in Paris, Texas. They would
Not
come
Paris,
through.
Tennessee.
No,
Different
no,
Paris.
it's interesting
France.
parallel.
Or France.
Yeah. No, Paris, Texas. They would come through and do a show every year, and I just I got to know the guys really well. I was a big fan. You know, I'm my childhood. The Acappella Ministries is the soundtrack of my childhood.
Me too.
I know we share that.
Yeah.
So grew up listening to the music and those voices, and so those guys would come through and do a show in Paris for several years in a row. And I was, by the time I was kind of college age, and did a lot of volunteer stuff at that church, and kind of I was their host one year, and took care of their housing and all that stuff. Ended up just singing with them casually. So when a spot opened up, I just got a call about it out of the blue one day about
Really?
meeting up with them to audition. So met them at the Tulsa Workshop. I drove over from Searcy. I was a Harding student, and they were there to sing, and auditioned for it right then with them. And
Got the
that's
job
how
on
it
the
happened.
spot, man.
Well,
Wow. Yeah.
Sang with them that night.
Pretty
That's so
close.
cool.
That is
That's
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah. So now, obviously, with that ship is kind of passed. Which
Yeah.
they're still
They're still around, right? Do occasional.
yeah, they
thing?
do. They do a few, just a few things a year. Very select. It's they don't really seek to book very often anymore, but they'll take some select things throughout the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everybody got older and had families.
Yeah, they've
It's
all
like,
got families now, and
we
everybody
can't do this,
decided
guys.
to
Yeah.
no.
I'm speaking selfishly now, but I would like to see a vocal union, redo. So if y'all can just get back together for my sake.
Okay, well,
I think
Just because
I
Alan
would
said so.
I would appreciate it if you could. I'm sure there's other fans out there that would really like to see.
well, it's
you
still
know?
a blessing. I get to sing with them just every so often. We actually earlier this year we met up in Tyler, Texas at the Shiloh Road Church. They do it's a new song kind of singing weekend. They call Forest Song. People come and bring their all the new arrangements and sing through them. But they had Vocal Union this last year as the kind of the end of that weekend.
Right.
So got to get on stage with the brothers. It was a blessing.
That's cool. Wow.
And I think this is just me from the outside looking in. Vocal union is its special thing too, and forgive me for the miss, but the bass singer
Gary Miller.
Yes.
Gary Miller
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
was very influential, and when he passed, it really broke.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
it's just
just
heavyweight,
hurt.
man.
Oh,
Heavyweight.
And
yeah.
So you guys share that as a brotherhood together.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah, absolutely.
that hit me at the marathon this past year. They talked a lot about that, and
yeah.
I realized just watching the guys, it still to this day.
Oh, we miss him dearly. He was the heart and soul of Vocal Union,
Yeah.
and his fingerprints, his heart, and his skill and talent is on all of the great stuff that the company did. The acapella recordings, the acapella series recordings, the VU stuff, the AVB stuff.
Just talented
He was the
guy.
studio, the engineer, wrote a ton of the songs.
Yeah.
His voice is all over background parts in all those
Gotcha.
classic, those series albums. So his his legacy has touched all of us in so many ways. And that was my favorite part, and what I'm still proud of about my years traveling with them is that was really, in my mind and in all our minds, the guys that have sung in that group, that's Gary's ministry. It was and it was actually full-time ministry for him.
Yeah.
We were all part-time,
Right.
just singing on weekends, but it was a full-time thing for him as the producer and the songwriter, and it was just a privilege just to be able to be part of the vehicle that shared his songs and his
Right.
ministry with the world.
Right.
Yeah, that was special when I saw that, just that camaraderie. So now you're at Legacy Church, and
Yeah.
so now how long have you been there?
Right at 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
And how long
Wow.
have you been serving in church ministry? You stepped away from the road.
Yeah. When I left Vocal Union, I did a little over 12 years of student ministry, like
Okay.
teen youth ministry
Right.
in Texarkana, Texas, which was pretty close to
The
home
town
for
that
me.
dreaded sundown.
That's it. Oh,
Yes.
I'm surprised you know that. Wow.
I got
That's
you.
a deep cut for
That's-
Texarkana.
I mean, you
Look
know,
at you.
I'm
Yeah.
very
That's
knowledgeable.
full of some
That's
weird
our
tidbits.
Texarkana favorite story about a serial killer. True story.
Well, I know why I remember it because he used a trombone,
Right. Okay.
and I'm a
Yeah.
trombone player.
Okay.
We actually both are.
He'd tie a knife to the end, and the camera was behind like a pillowcase, and you see him going, and he would like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ADD. At the
Wow.
finest.
Trombones and ADD when they combine.
Yes.
Mm,
All
got
right.
it.
So back to worship,
hmm
and so you've been doing this ministry, church ministry, for a while.
Yeah. I've been in full time ministry since 2009. So all my years as a student minister working with teens, I was always very involved in worship ministry. It's always been a passion. Always been something I've wherever I've been a worship leader, song leader, in a lot of different contexts. So, yeah, I led worship a ton for all those years in Texarkana, and took it on as a full-time role about 4 years ago.
Just doing it, man.
Yeah, love it.
So in Legacy, like we said, it was a large church, and I want to kind of transition into, and before I get into that, there's a blessing that comes with serving in a large church. There's also some struggles.
Sure.
So being in a large church, what are some challenges that you have seen? I'm going to open up and listen because what are some challenges of leading in a large church? What are some blessings? What are some, man, I wish we had a smaller church to do this. What can it speak to that? a little bit?
There's a lot of blessings that go with it. It's just I'll start with a few blessings because there's a lot of things I'm thankful for at our place. You just have the resources and the manpower to do so much, and I'm so blessed with wonderful volunteers. And that's one of the benefits you get. There's
a lot of people.
There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of talented people. So I'm always grateful for the role that I have and just how many wonderful people I get to work with every week. So it's quite a blessing. It's really cool to be in that room when you really have those days when you can get everybody going. It's a big sound, and it's a glorious noise sometimes. That's a huge blessing. There's a lot of challenges with large church leading. As being the only person on stage during the song services for a room that usually has normally 700 or 800 people in it, something like that. Meeting everybody, getting to the back rows, can be a challenge, and just making it's
eye contact. I would imagine is that you're talking about
some of the WLI principles that are big things about what we do. It really can be a challenge.
I share this in some of the stuff when we travel. The person that I picture and try to mimic in a large environment, because when you're leading in front of a bunch of people, getting to that back person or the balcony, the person who just puts on a master class. Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Like if you've been you could be in the back 40, but when you leave there,
he looked at me.
He looked at me. He sang to me. He is my friend. In fact, we're going to hang out.
We're going to hang out after.
Sure.
That dude. And so I try to I think about that. How can I reach that person in the very back? But it's hard.
It is.
It is. That's tough. Anyway.
So yeah, keeping everybody connected can be a challenge sometimes. And just trying to again sing to lead the people on the back rows, and that's one of them for sure. One of the things I find sometimes in my planning is that, and part of it's just the function of being a bigger place with a lot of moving parts, is we're not very flexible It's hard to steer a big
That's
ship.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we're I feel sometimes
So true.
we're kind of boxed into a way of doing things from
Yeah.
one Sunday to the next, and it's really challenging
It's just too much
to
effort.
break away from that because there's so many different things to consider.
Right.
One
One little change has got 15 dominoes that are going to fall.
Yeah, and how can I, if I want to do a cool worship exercise moment, you know, where I'm doing something besides having people be in the pews and us singing together, can I actually manage that in a reasonable amount of time with 800 people in the room? You know, there's things you can do with 100 or 200 that just don't translate.
Right.
So yeah, there's things like that.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask about this too, because I mean, so my church where I lead is 300 and it's a much smaller environment. I know Beltline is got a great sound. I understand Legacy's
We've
sound
got a good room. That's another one of the
is
blessings
awesome.
we have. Yeah.
I mean, with 900 people, what's the tempo like in that room? Do you guys experience the quicksand at your church where just they really want to slow down on you, or how does that work?
I've
No
always
offense, you know.
No. I have always been willing to take on the task of fighting that.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just
I will die on this hill.
Yeah, it's something from my background. I grew up really, really, really small country church, East Texas. Not even Paris. We were in an outlying community of Paris, so a small church. And I think. From my experiences there, we went on to a bigger church in Paris when I was in high school, and I started to get opportunities to lead and do pretty quick. I just had my mind made up of how I wanted it to be, and some things I would change. And I've never struggled with this is the speed we're gonna go.
Yeah,
I'll
we're
step
together
on people sometimes till we get there.
Go with me or don't, but I'm not
that's
changing.
the cool thing is that even my that big number of people at Legacy, they're used to me now.
Follow you.
So
Yeah.
no, we really it doesn't pull much.
Well, so we do the quicksand. I mean, I guess our viewers, listeners may not completely understand what that is. We do an exercise here at WLI where the students are asked to direct a song, and there's somebody standing behind them conducting slower that everybody is following the background, and the job is the student supposed to try to get them back on speed with using all these techniques that we teach.
And we learned a new one yesterday. We're going to add. We were talking about,
and they hadn't come up with a name with that one yet.
Well, because he was leading it.
That's right.
This is how we overcome.
How do you keep them from speeding up?
This is how we overcome.
Yeah. Got to come up with a catchy name for that. Not the quicksand,
The
but
accelerator.
Something like that.
The DeLorean, 88 miles an hour. You want to slow it? I don't know.
Go back in time.
Go back in time? No, that's too far.
Stop. But yeah, so yeah, same thing with you. There are things that you can do that are great with a large church. There's things you can't do. We talked about a little bit in our class earlier today about doing songs that have rounds and stuff. A lot of times that's hard to do with 800 people. Yeah. Because it's just never going to line up. So I get that. But the resources, I really want to get into this because many of you listening have partaken in the Praise and Harmony recordings. Yeah. There's 26 albums now?
25 songs on an album. 26.
25 songs, 26. And I was blessed last year to have them come to Beltline in the recording. The year before that, they were at Legacy.
Yes, in 23.
And you were just a glutton for punishment, and they're coming back this year.
Coming back in 25. Yeah, we're going to record again at Legacy later at the very end of the summer.
Yeah, so, and I want to talk about, because I think people don't really understand the complexities that go into planning that. So we kind of share that together. And I'm also, side note, ADD here, this year at WLI, I am blessed. Andrew is a coach for a team. Yeah. I get to be his team coordinator.
The blessing is all mine.
We are just, it's going to be great.
We've been a good team already. Yeah, we've got a good team. We've got a good team.
But anyway, we share in that. And y'all, to move forward 500 or 600 people in one cohesive unit, I wasn't in the Army. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. There are some challenges to that. And there's a lot of moving parts. Getting your church on board, for one, to do it, and helping. I really want to get into, how did you cast the vision, sell the vision to your church? Because I struggled a little bit with that because no one really understood the complexities. When there's 500 people rolling into town, I know what the outcome is going to be, but how did you sell Legacy on it? And I mean, you're doing it twice, so you obviously did a good job.
Well, it went so. I mean, really did. I mean, you mentioned we talked about the Song Fest and our building capacity constraints. That was part of that recording weekend. So all that to go back to, it went really well in 23. So there was a lot of excitement about everybody coming back and us hosting again. So we were proud to do it. And honestly, the first time around wasn't too much of a struggle for me either. I feel I'm really lucky, blessed, fortunate. I try hard not to take it for granted, but I landed at a place at Legacy that had, this was all, post COVID. I got there in 21. They had had one full-time worship minister before me, but he had moved on before COVID hit, and they went through all the long stretch of the shutdowns. They ended up going somewhere between 2 and 3 years without a full-time worship minister, even after they restarted church after COVID. And it was a church that was just really hungry for the worship experience to be more.
Right.
And, I try to remind myself often how fortunate I am that they have been behind me in every way since I've started. They've, it's just been a wonderful kind of serendipitous relationship of
A lot of support.
Yeah. So, after I'd been there a couple of years, the opportunity came up, and I just approached our shepherds first, and there was just a lot of excitement right off the bat. It had been in Burleson, Texas the year before ours. So the 2022 One God album was recorded in Burleson, which is just 30 minutes south of Fort Worth. It's just right there. So a few of us took part in that one. So it had been close by right then, and there was kind of some buzz from that. And when the opportunity came up, it was I didn't have to work too hard to sell it. They were ready, and it was just a great experience.
It's a big kingdom impact thing. I mean,
Absolutely.
you realize you're recording this thing, and it's in your building, and you got your people that are engaged there locally, and then this work, this ministry thing is going to go out to the world.
Absolutely.
And get absorbed by not only your church, but I mean a lot of churches. You just don't realize how
Well, the
big
big
that
thing
is.
for Beltline was we did, so we were scheduled to do 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Had it planned, all that good stuff. Well, there was this thing that happened.
Why that not? Yeah, why
Something
that not
happened.
happen?
So this is kind of a, hey, I want to honor that. And Keith he didn't have to do that, but he wanted to honor that. The one thing that my church really, it changed their mind, because again, you are giving up every square inch of your church.
Absolutely.
And it's a big ask. And there were some misunderstandings there of, why do they keep asking to do this? Just please understand.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of this thing, there are so many people that come from all over the world to do this.
Yes.
But I tell you what was surprising was there's a Mennonite population.
Oh, yeah.
Did they come to you?
Oh, yeah.
And that shook some people in a good way because it helped. I had a comment from the guy who kind of headed up our food team. We'll talk to that in a minute too. But he's like, you forget how big this thing is.
Yeah.
It's you get kind of in your bubble and you do your thing, and then something like this comes along and you realize this is way bigger than me, and it is a kingdom impact because we're providing resources and things, and so many people are involved, and it gives them an opportunity to be a part of this thing. It impacted our church in a way of service.
Yes.
It kind of changed their mind. Instead of having this, oh, they're coming in, and it's even kind of, now that I'm thinking about it on this podcast, our church has kind of transitioned into, we're doing a series right now on service and hospitality. Right. So it's kind of funny.
Opens up some doors
and
conversations.
I'm not saying that's what created that we're going to have this series on it, but I do think looking back, it definitely opened some conversations.
Yeah.
Well, I think again, it's all about music. Well, purpose of the podcast is about worship leading and music and singing in the church, and 100% participation and joy and all these wonderful things. But truly, singing together brings us together. It's a unifying, cool thing, and we get to build these relationships out. And I think it's just an awesome feat when we can sing
And
together.
when there's over you had the 1,500, 1,400.
Yeah.
And we had a little over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1,100. When that many people
Yes.
come together and sing praise.
Yes.
And you were able to lead in that too.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I have never
No.
in my life
No.
been a part of those.
People still talk about that night
Yeah.
at Legacy. It's been 2 years now,
Yeah.
and it left a real impact.
Yes.
Really and truly.
It's just a touch. I mean, again, it's just a little touch.
glimpse.
It's a glimpse of heaven.
Absolutely.
Heaven's gonna be so much more awesome. The singing there is gonna be. We don't have to stop singing in heaven. Oh, but we do like to talk about this.
This is very important.
This is very important. There
Okay.
will be singing in heaven,
Yes.
but ain't gonna be no preaching.
Okay. No, that's
just saying.
Just singing. So
Saying.
we need to prioritize, our voice a little bit there. And
So this next year coming up, in September.
Yes.
Right? Is it September?
It's the last few days of August into September.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
Coming quick.
You have signed up again to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith's goal is to have 1,000 voices. That is a tall order.
Yes.
So that's his goal.
Yes.
And you guys have you're not going to do it. Well, you're going to record in the church.
Yeah,
building,
we're going to record in the auditorium.
But the Song Fest
the big
is
Song
going to be.
Fest. Yeah, we made a decision to move it to a bigger venue because of we kind of overfilled the place in
Last
23. So yeah, we're going to go to downtown Fort Worth, which we're actually in a suburb called North Richland Hills. Is technically where our church is, a little bit on the northeast side of Fort Worth. So we're going to go into downtown to this really old classic auditorium. It's called the Will Rogers Memorial Auditorium, and it's right in downtown Fort Worth. It's a little over a 2,800 seat room. So we have reserved that for the Sunday Night Song Fest on August 31.
Built in
The mid 30s and still very original to
bet
that time
sounds
period.
great.
So very classic room.
I'm curious. It seats 2,800 people,
Mm.
but people back in the 30s were smaller.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
notice houses and cars
Maybe
were
tight
like
is what you're
smaller.
saying?
So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, people like me, I'm just-
and me.
We love you guys.
I
mean, we-
anyway, that's going to
gonna
be
be
awesome
amazing.
because they just don't. We've talked about acoustics in rooms and
Yeah.
stuff. They just don't make rooms like they used to. So,
Yeah, no, it's true.
and you did say it is going to be a challenge because back then it was designed stage out.
Yeah, project from the stage and the
Yeah.
acoustics. Yeah, going out from the stage.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. I guess the point of this whole thing was just to share some of the background of when you get to listen to those praise and harmony
Yeah.
recordings. That's not people going into a studio. There are the people singing. There's the hundreds of volunteers
Yes.
A lot.
that go into that. Food, which by the way, I got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
Oh.
Yep.
Why come
Mm-hmm.
y'all ain't got to feed nobody this year?
Well,
Oh.
that'll be one of the biggest changes to the recording experience this year is none of the meals will be put on by the host church. I will
Wow.
state it right here on this recorded
Are we dropping
audio
news right here?
Are we dropping
format
news?
that was not my decision. We knew there was going to have to be some creative, ideas to come up
That's
with
right.
to
That's
feed.
right.
That meant because Keith's talking about 1,000 people, which that's one of the reasons they're coming back to Legacy is because
Good
he had
space to
seen
do
our
it.
auditorium and we have a big
Have
enough.
the room.
We have our auditorium can handle that. So one of the first things I said is I can get we can get 1,000 people in the auditorium to record. I said I cannot sit 1,000 people down anywhere else
Right.
in my
To
building for us to eat
Logistically
meals
impossible.
and
There's
how
no
to
way.
do that in any kind of relative
Right.
efficient timing.
Right.
Right.
So we knew it would have to be creative if we were going to try that, and we workshopped those ideas and talked about some things, and I offered up a few ideas, and the Acappella Ministries team ultimately made the decision. We're going to adjust the schedule a little bit, give everybody a 2-hour lunch break, and everybody just goes off
I
site.
thought you guys were gonna be like fasting for the entire
Well,
recording.
that's an idea.
That would have been one way to
Just
do
sing
it.
till it's done.
That's
Yeah.
That'd be one way to go.
No, that is just that logistic part of feeding that many people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it is a feat, and there's a lot of planning that goes into that. Like
Mhm.
we had maps drawn out.
Yes.
I had it was wild.
Yeah, that's the
how-
biggest logistical part of hosting. So I do kind of feel like I'm getting away
People-
with something this time.
That's
I
okay.
really do.
I won't judge you.
Well,
It's
you
not
already have.
hard.
I think
There's some tension right now on this
I'm glad
podcast.
you're in the middle.
I'm so sorry, our listeners.
No, it is awesome. And you know what? And I want to say, on behalf, thank you to Legacy.
Oh, sure.
For opening up, and I thank my people at Beltline that opened up, because it's a lot.
Yeah,
So
thank you. I can say this as an outsider. Thank you to both your churches for blessing the kingdom and helping it grow with this music thing.
Absolutely,
it's been an awesome thing.
So if you're talking to a song leader that's watching today, and we're here at WLI, we've talked about a lot of things today, just kind of getting into our brains.
Sure.
But WLI is a special place. It's how we met. It's how this relationship started. We've talked about leading in a large congregation, making contact in the back. Those are things we talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
Why else should someone watching here make it important to come to WLI?
Well, I'm a good person to ask that too, because I put it off for a long time.
Okay.
So Keith and I, we've had a relationship for years because of my vocal union years. And I went straight into, over a decade of student ministry. And WLI started sometime during that stretch. Yeah. So Keith would call me and message me periodically throughout all those years.
He's good about doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
hey, when
absolutely.
you coming? You gonna come?
Yeah. Hey, you need this. You need to be there. You got to come experience it. It'll be worth your time. He would send me encouraging things all throughout, several of those years. And I would always try to graciously say no. And that was, in student ministry, summers are busy and weeks are valuable, and you run out of them real quick. So it's just a tough decision I always found to take another week for something that was just for myself. Long way of saying, my first year that I took the full-time gig at Legacy, Keith had got in touch with me that year. He called me to congratulate me. He heard about the job posting on Facebook and called to talk about it. And he brought it up then again.
He found an opportunity.
And I said, I want you can count on me for this year. I said, this couldn't fit more directly into my new gig. I will be there. So I came that first year in San Antonio, which was the first year that WLI got back up and running after COVID. They had to take 2 years off. So that San Antonio one was really impactful for a lot of reasons. But I said yes to coming that year, and I had no idea. I'd had friends in the worship leading and just the ministry world period that had done WLI and had recommended it, but I had no idea the type of impact that it was going to make on me. In so many ways. So my line since then, it's the one that they keep in the promo videos, is the material in the curriculum here is so comprehensive. Just every aspect you can think of that relates to leading worship. You might think you're experienced and know a pretty good deal, but until you come to WLI, that you don't know just how much you don't know until you come get exposed to it. You'll be thinking about aspects of your worship leading that you never even thought to think about or had pointed out to you.
Yeah,
we've all got our blind spots. And
I've
always considered, I was always able to get up and lead a church in worship, and had some natural just gifting, just musically. But man, there was so much I wasn't doing and should have been doing.
Yeah.
I could have been better all those years ago.
Right.
Man, we share the same story. Same, man. Yes. And we were talking this morning. Robert King was talking about talent versus skill. Like, there's a lot of people having natural talent.
Right. Some that really work.
And talent's one thing, but skill is something you work on.
Absolutely.
And you gotta get better at it, and you gotta be consistent.
And again, there's no such thing as perfection. Not on this side of heaven,
You'll
anyways. We'll never attain that. But we can always work and always get better and keep that humility up.
Yeah, and that's one of the best. That's one of the best aspects of WLI too, is the culture that Keith and all of the longtime instructors and coaches have set. Is that culture of we are all lifelong learners.
Yeah.
So everybody, starting with Keith and all the way on down, it's everybody is here to improve the craft and get better. Doesn't matter where you're starting from. We're just trying to go this way in an upward direction.
Trying to get better. That's awesome. Well, Andrew, thank you for coming
on.
Oh,
thanks so much. It's been fun.
It's been a good time, and we were kind of all over the place. That's okay though, because I wanted to catch all that. But It's Andrew's a great guy.
And Andrew shared that, you know, if Vocal Union has an opening, he said he'd like put in a good word maybe.
You'd have
I know. It's a lifelong dream.
I love. He's
but-
like,
okay,
sure.
Thank you
You'd
guys.
have a lot of downtime. I'll say that.
Well, that's true.
So he's claiming that he's kind of an honorary member of Acappella.
I mean, I feel like it's true.
Last year he got to lead Shield About Me, which is his famous song now.
That's his song.
That's his song, Shield About Me.
Yeah.
But he got to lead
I love
it
it. It's a good
with
song.
Chris Turner behind him.
Chris and Anthony and Keith.
Rob.
Oh, you're in acapella.
I mean,
that's
essentially,
done,
right?
done.
Give me the T-shirt.
Well, you have a T-shirt, but you
I
have to pay
do.
for it.
I did pay for it.
So there's that. Anyways,
it's been a blessing.
It's been
Andrew, thank
absolutely.
you for being on tonight.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks for the invite.
you guys, thanks for checking us out and following. As always, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. I don't even know what the buttons are. All the buttons. Share if you've enjoyed this. You feel like there's a worship leader, song leader in your community that needs to hear this. Please share it with them. And then outside of that, I guess we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
We're out. Love you guys.
Take
God
care.
bless you.
Love y'all.
Love on somebody. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on From Pitch to Praise.
We hope this episode has encouraged you and given you new ideas to inspire your worship leadership.
If you've enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review to help others discover the podcast.
And don't forget to connect with us through infusionministries.org or follow us on social media for more resources and updates.
Until next time, keep leading with faith, love, and a heart full of praise.
We'll see you back here on From Pitch to Praise.
Praise the Lord and teach.